Hey, everybody. Welcome back to KF&JF podcast. Today, we got a guest on our show that's going to teach us a lot about something that I think all of you guys are interested in, and that is, wait for it. I'm so happy to be here today. We've had a tough weekend, but it's been hot. We've been to a few events, and we're just so happy to be back on the air today. And again, I want to thank all of you guys for going to the KF&JF podcast and subscribing and checking out the videos and liking them and all that. We really do appreciate it. Thank you also for going to the joybeloved.com and making those purchases. That helps us all to be able to, work together to bring this show together with the audience and the viewers and all of the interviews we have. So we thank you so much for that. And, like this show goes, everybody knows I'm going to kick it over to Razak, and he's going to do his introduction for you guys. I appreciate it.
Greetings. My name is Razak. I am the CEO and founder of United Minority Business Ventures. My purpose is to help small businesses grow. This means I will assist with the creative process and maintenance of your business. The method to achieve results is simply building a deeper relationship with your customers. I do this by forming opportunities to communicate and collaborate with your followers, subscribers, and other business owners. By using a wide range of networking tools, we will have an understanding for building your business profile, what type of social media marketing fits your productivity and your availability, and building your financial profile, branding your services, product, or merchandise. Together, we may also determine what type of license is needed to operate your business. And does your budget permit the ownership of your own domain or buying into pre-existing sites that host your page? I like to drive traffic by managing your website. This allows me to work with you to select posts that create subscriptions, comments, and likes. I also assist by generating comments on other individual business sites or a page that create a dialogue of conversation directed towards your page. I also assist with the creation of the content on your media site. This will be a collaboration of ideas which will reflect on your brand, your work ethics, and the community's need to know what you have to offer them to bring a better quality of comfort to their lives and lifestyle. I can also assist with the writing of content, directing your videos, the editing process, and publishing them on various sites for marketing purposes, advertising, and promotional value.
We really thank Razak for all the work that he's doing out there to help the small business, succeed. A lot of the work that he's doing is part of this show, as well as some of the other people that he's working with to, just uplift their program and make sure that they're able to succeed in their wealth building and all of the other things that goes with, creating a business. And as an entrepreneur, you need that type of assistant out there. So, but you know what? We have this guy on our show that is so exciting, and I am just so excited to be here with him. Why don't we just go ahead and have him introduce himself?
Hi, me? How you doing, man? I'm Rodney Rich, owner of We COOKN, based out of Vista, California. I'm from Oceanside, California. I'm glad to be on the show today.
All right.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here too, Roddy. But don't be nervous. Be relaxed. Sit back. This is going to be some fun. All we want to do is know how you do it, so that we don't be messing up in the kitchen and getting all these scars from digging in the oven, trying to, touching the hot touching the hot grill, man. I know.
Yeah, I heard that. I heard that.
You know, the first thing is wear a glove. But let me ask you something. Tell me a little bit about you. That's something nobody knows about that's unique about you.
Nobody knows unique about me. Uh, I think I'm a multitasker. Like it's a gift and a curse. Like I'm always doing one thing, thinking of another, or trying to do another thing at the same time. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's unique because I'm able to do two things at once majority of the time, but sometimes it comes overwhelming. But that's just how that's how I roll. That's how I do it.
When you're out there, you know, multitasking, brother, just tell me, it was one of the multitasking things coming up with that name? How did you come up with the name of your business? And did you go through a big old, you know, process in coming up with that, or was it just easy on your mind?
It was organic because when I put it on the internet, I said today we cooking, like, and then I showed a bunch of food of all the stuff that I'm making, and from there it was like the next week when I did sell the food, I said today we cooking, and that's like that wasn't even the name yet, but as I kept going one or two more times saying it, laying in bed, I told my wife that's the name, we cooking, like. It's just that's what we've been saying. That's who we are. I don't want to name it after me. I could have named it Rodney, but whatever. I like the We Cooking name, and it's grown. People say it. People like what I mean. They say it. They love coming up saying we cooking. You know what I mean? It's just like a little took on a life of its own.
Wow. Did you learn this from anybody in your family? Where's the origin of, you know, your skills and where, you know, where you get it from? Is it from back east, or do you have everything you learned here?
I'm from originally Arizona, but I've been here since I was 10 years old. But what you call it? I get the inspiration from selling the food from my uncle. My uncle Marvin, he used to sell po' boys in New Orleans. So therefore, he was selling them, and I basically just copied what he was doing. And that was so I didn't know that was like basically the first sandwich I knew I wanted to sell. All this other stuff organically came about off of creativity or advice. It's kind of like how kind of how it happened.
So have you ever tried like a different po' boy sandwich? Did you get some, you know, like I'm from Louisiana, so it's kind of, you know, have you tapped into any of that style, or your style of making a po' boy sandwich is just unique to how you do
So
it?
we cooking our name, our slogan, brand slogan is we cooking Southern cuisine with a Cali twist. Creole soul with a Cali twist. Oh my lord, I forgot. Yeah, but so we do it our way. Only thing different is I guess it's the bun, but we use a French roll, which I found when I first started. I did a ciabatta bread, and them things is hard and they're little and square. So if you look at pictures of my first food, it was a ciabatta to where it's grown now. I finally found the right proper bread, and yeah, we've been running it for with over 2 years now. Same type bread.
Yeah, I know that, you know, sometimes you do have to have something to hold all that stuff, you know,
Yeah.
that's it. Do you also work with the seasoning? What do you do to, you know, establish that flavor that when people bite into it, it automatically, that tongue is, you know, saying, oh yeah, that's good. So do you do with or deal with other
we
seasoning from
we,
other
we do
states?
we use Creole seasoning. That's more not so salty. It's more or less more spices and stuff. Cajun is spicier. Creole is more, seasoning and flavoring powders of this sort. So we use that majority and a few other things. But yeah, no, it's pretty basic, man. It's like Creole seasonings and garlics and onions and paprikas and all that kind of stuff, all that good stuff.
We definitely want to steal your season. I mean, your secret, man. I
I
know
know, I know.
you hesitant.
I left out three. I left three out.
I was like, is he gonna let the whole story out right now?
No, I left the key three out.
I'm gonna tell you a little secret later on, but I'm just listening for now. But I think
Okay, there you go. I
one of
hear
those
you.
things that, shoot, you got to watch out for it when you open your mouth about cooking, man. People be writing down. I do got a pen here, just so you know.
Yeah, they gotta go do the research on that though.
You
Free up
gonna
to
give
be
me
a lot of
something?
stuff.
You
They
gonna give
gonna
me
go
something?
grab the wrong turmeric or something. They gonna go grab the wrong powder,
I know you're gonna
baking
trick me. I
powder.
already know that. I know
Man.
you're gonna.
He said powder.
Let me pass you over to Razak right now. He's got some questions for you. So I'll
Yes,
let him.
sir.
hmm Okay. So my first question would be, when you started your business, what was your biggest fear about starting your business, and how did you overcome it?
No sales. I've done a lot of things. I've done a lot of things in my life, and like so when I kind of did the food, people were like, okay, here goes with something else. I've coached varsity high school sports. I've coached middle school. You know what I mean? I worked at FedEx. I've done video. I've done comedy. So when this one was, I showed this on the Facebook. People was more like, okay, here goes something else new. You know, because I just recently, like 5 months before that, started a painting, sipping and painting company. So that was already like only 4 months old, 5 months old. And now I'm showing, saying, hey, I got food for sale. You know what I mean? I'm showing me cooking first. And then the next week I had it for sale. So the biggest fear was like, okay, nobody's going to they're just going to blow me off. This is just another thing he's trying to do, you know? So the first time I sold, I had 5 orders. And that was at the end of the day. And that was my friend Junior. He just bought 5 plates because I was sitting there like, man, I cooked all this food. Ain't nobody bought nothing. I'm running specials. You know what I mean? I had to get rid of it. So I ended up selling him 5 plates. And then, so that's like, yeah, that was the big more of this than anything. I'm not really, you're going to win or lose, and you're going to learn to get better, or you're going to learn to move on,
For
So
sure,
that's
for
just kind of
sure.
my approach to everything. So I'm not really worried. That was no fear. I don't care. Nose don't bother me, you know.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's always good to know, because it's when you're getting out there. Because I was thinking, like, if you wasn't already used to being around the people and have them ask you questions and have your food out there, your the biggest fear would be probably the interaction that you would need to have with all these different type of characters, let alone somebody not enjoying your food. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. No. Yeah. Uh, I'm. I've done sales for a long time, so yeah. I
yeah.
just know how to interact with people. You know how to talk to people, how to approach people. You can see
Right.
who's walking. Like when you watch somebody walk through the mall, you know who's shopping, knowing where they're going, or the people that are gonna get stopped by every single booth because they just loudly, they just had that look at them, like you know to see who wants to buy, who's not want to be bothered. You can tell that
hmm
with people body language and stuff, dealing with people.
Well, well, let's jump on that real quick. And now you mentioned a few things right now, but there's always this question that I'm starting to ask too. What other background business um, experience did you have that made you better prepare to start your own business?
So we were young. We used to sell. My friend was a rapper, Young Tage, and we used to sell DVDs. So we would travel all around downtown Dago, L.A., Hollywood, and so we were hand to hand sales with DVDs. So that's interaction. I mean, with CDs, and then like I said, I used to do DVDs back in the days, and I had the in the Streets series, In the Streets Volume 1, 2, and 3. I never did 4. So that was a lot of. I was traveling around and I was selling my DVDs out of my backpack. So, that was young, 20, 22, 23, 24.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
so that I mean it's just all like it's like that. Worked in the mall when I was young, and I had to get people at one of those booths. We sell stickers. You know what I mean? I've never been afraid to talk to people. Ever. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Stuff I natural.
I heard that. I heard that. When it comes to to hmm, creating your food dishes,
Uh-huh.
how do you stay up to date, or I got to ask if it even matters, how do you stay up to date with the latest like food trends, like is and I'm saying this as far as like a dietary or they have more vegan, you know what I mean? Does that even apply to you?
Yeah. Well, you come to our booth, it's a cheat day. Like we don't really hold back on. We got too much not healthy. It's good. We have soulful comfort meals and more. That's what we are. So it's soulful, which is not direct soul food, but it's a soulful. It's the people who are making it more or less and making comfort meals is what we have. So we don't. Our menu is kind of pretty much what it is. It's grown to be what it is. If you look at it, we have 4 bases. We have a cheesesteak, we have a burger, we have a shrimp, and we have chicken breast nuggets. And between all 4 of those things, we have 4 or 5 dishes off those 4. So that's kind of the structure of ours. We do make salad options. People want no bread. We can put it on a bed of lettuce and stuff like that. But we really kind of so people who are allergic to shrimp, they automatically see. They probably really don't mess with our tent. Or they ask, is it cooked in separate grease? Because that's about the furthest, where we're cautious at is with the shrimp. Other than that, everything is kind of just just our dishes. It's kind of how we do it.
All right. If you had to describe yourself as one of your dishes, which one would it be? Like, which one would describe you as a character?
That's funny. A character, I guess it'd be the Wild West. Like I described the character, the animation of our food we have. You probably see it on there. The Wild West is a fun, free spirited. I called him he's a fun life of the party, and he's a trust fund kid. So he ain't got no worries. You know what I mean? Like he just having fun every day. He's not really stressing over stuff, and that's kind of more or less me because it's a double meat on there, which, like I said, I'm like a multitasker. So it's 2 meats on there, a cheesesteak on top of a cheeseburger with sauce and barbecue sauce on it. So it's kind of like, that's if you were gonna pick food, I never thought of that. That's crazy, but I would probably say the Wild West. Yeah, the Wild West is probably our burger.
Wild West. Okay.
The origin of that burger is we were selling cheesesteaks and we were selling burgers. One of this guy's friends ordered a burger, one ordered a bacon burger, other one ordered a cheesesteak. And the third friend in that group said, "Hey, can you put cheesesteak on the burger?" I think he got the bacon too. Yeah, I think he got the bacon too. Might have got the bacon. So he owns a brewery, and the name of this brewery is called Wild West Brewery, Homemade Brews. So when he made that, I said, "We're going to name it after you," and I just kept the sandwich on the menu. That's how that sandwich came about, the Wild West Burger.
Yeah. Wow, man, that's great, man. There's somebody got their burger named after him. I had a burrito at one point, but that's as far as I got.
And then we got our newest one, the Crooklyn burger that you probably see on there. That's a bacon avocado ranch burger. And we used to call it the bar burger, because we used to sell at breweries. So I was like, I'm always trying to think of how to, make all this stuff work together. So when we go to breweries, they see on the menu BAR, and it's bacon avocado ranch. And we would sell that burger when we first got started. But through evolving other stuff, that burger kind of got lost in the shuffle. And a barber at Culture Barbershop, Crooklyn, always kept asking, "When are you putting that burger back? When are you putting that burger back?" I told him one day, "You know what? We're putting it back, and I'm naming it after you. It's the Crooklyn burger." And I just put a whole little marketing scheme behind it with the New York music and all the stuff, and we just created the burger, the Crooklyn burger, named after somebody else.
Okay. So that tells us that a lot of your creativity comes from the interactions that you have with the public and your experiences.
Definitely.
And so, what would you say would be a memorable experience that you had while working in the food industry?
My most memorable experience so far, like doing this food?
Yes.
It's probably winning the mac and cheese contest. The San Diego Chef Fest had a mac and cheese contest. I think it was back in February at the festival. And we actually won that. I didn't think we were gonna win. I didn't think we were gonna win because like our mac and cheese, we had made it a little like you made it earlier because we obviously didn't cook it up right there. But we didn't know if they were gonna have the contest or not, so it wasn't warm, and we had to warm it up and warm it back up, and then put cheese. We had to work with it, and then when we went to the contest, I was just like, the two other contestants they're really popular in San Diego, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're gonna get third, and it came down to we won by throwing bacon in it. I'm gonna tell y'all that. That's what it was. Everybody had mac and cheese, and they had some good gooey cheese. They had some good, nice noodles. But the thing with our taste was we threw that little bacon flakes in there, and that just kind of set us apart from everybody else. So
okay, won you a competition.
Yeah.
It sounds like some mac and cheese to have right there.
That's probably my greatest moment I think so far in cooking. I mean, it's all good, but winning something, recognition, I like that more over than the TV, than being on TV. Like that competition was fun.
Okay, what do you think is the most important aspect about running your business or your food business?
Taking responsibility. Taking responsibility because it ultimately falls on you. I could get mad at somebody or something they didn't do, but ultimately it falls on me because I'm the owner and I'm the representation of the business. That's the most important thing, employees, they can do whatever, but you're the one. This is my job. This is my livelihood. So that's the most important is being responsible, taking ownership of all aspects of the business. Basically, if that answers your question.
Yeah, well, it does take a lot of responsibility. I mean, you are responsible for everything, and I know through talking to some other people that, you got to fill out these forms, to even get into a lot of these vendor events.
Yes.
If something goes wrong, that falls solely on you if somebody does something wrong or the food makes somebody sick. So I would say that's right on key.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to ask you this though, because sometimes we ask it, but sometimes how do you deal with, and this is even if it happens, how do you deal with criticism or negativity about your food and the way you make it? And this is going towards maybe somebody didn't like the ingredients, or maybe they're trying to compare you to somebody else, or have you had those experiences?
Yeah, you kind of you have to listen to hear what they're talking about. And then you got to figure out, is it a personal preference or is this a general consensus of everybody saying the same thing? Everybody thinks in and out lines are way too long. You know what I mean? That's not a personal opinion. You can go there and you can see the lines are long. So things with somebody will say my choice of bread or something oh, that's not a real Philly roll. They use this such. This is there's only so much I can do behind that. You know what I mean? Yes, sir, I found the best quality bread that 98% of people like. You're the 2%. I can't worry about the 2%. So things like that is, I figure out if it's something that needs to be fixed or is it just, one dude came up to us and asked one day, can I get some fries? And I said, yeah. And he's like, he looked in the back. He said, are they crinkle cut? I said, yes. He said, oh, no, I can't do crinkle cut. You know what I mean? What's the difference? It's a French fry. So things like that. I'm not supposed to go home and tear down the whole system. Okay, now we got to accommodate. Some people might not want crisp cut. We got to start having, shoestring fries. You know what I mean? No. So some things you got to figure out what's for the best of the company versus, the livelihood of the company, more or less. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
You got to figure out what's people. Those burgers are too small. You think they're about to go make them bigger now? No, let's just go somewhere else there. Not like that. I'm not, but I'm saying I always just weigh it out of, okay, that's, things we need to fix. We got, I had a cook that was putting too much salt on it. And it was obvious because the two different times the same person went, it was that same person cooking. So, that's something I'm not talking about, that's just you. No, that's a consensus. Is this same person's been cooking the past couple times, and we've had these issues of the questioning of too salty. So, that's the stuff I have to go and correct now. Okay, hey, you got to start, let me reteach you how it's supposed to look. And so, yeah, like I said, I just weigh it out of where is it coming from, basically.
I heard that. That is definitely something that's I mean that would be a I think that would be a fear if I had a food business, is your employees messing up what you created, you know what I mean, and running off the customers, because I can imagine that, high blood pressure or whatnot, or just the taste of it, I mean, too much salt's not cool.
Burnt,
Yeah,
too much sauce on it.
Mm-hmm.
Just eat, and then that's that person's one time. They'll walk off and forever say, "Oh, they put too much salt on their stuff." And that's you know what I mean. And they and when they're gonna tell 5 bad people before they tell one good thing about it. You know what I mean? So it's like they're gonna say that everywhere they go. Ooh, that's too much salt.
Yeah, and that can detour your sales. So that's I got a question about that too, down in the thing. But I wanted to ask you this first because it was on my mind right now. Given that you had a couple of different businesses, that you have that you've done other things in life that that were profitable for you, and I'm assuming that everybody has to have some kind of financing before they start the business that they're going into. So what would be your personal definition of success, and how do you measure it?
Happiness and quality of life. Because success is quality of life and happiness. There's a lot of poor families that they get along. Mom loves dad, kids all together, brothers and sisters. They don't got much, but they're happy, and the quality of life. They're at all each other's sporting games, and it's a lot of support and love. Versus that success to me versus a rich family where dad's never home, he's always on the road at work, kids are gone, the kids are doing their own thing, and mom's living her own life, and there's no unity in that. Like, yeah, they're all successful in their own rights, but it's like they don't know each other. So that's why I bring in quality of life.
Okay.
I would value that. I would value happiness and quality of life of less sad days, more happy days.
Yes, that is definitely a good way to measure out of being successful, is the ease of life can be. But on the flip side of that, though, is what is something that you currently struggle with, and how are you working to overcome it? And this is the business or in your personal life.
What am I struggling with? Breaking through to the next level, scaling my business up. Not that I feel stuck where I'm at today, because I'm cool. Like, this is it's what I mean. It's like being my 3rd year doing it. I kind of been around it once or twice. I kind of know what to expect, but I want to scale up. I'm taking classes right now in a program with City Heights, City Heights, doing business development right now. It's an 8-week course, and it's teaching you how to scale your business up, because I'm ready to go to the next level. It's just like I don't want to be stuck in this level I'm at much longer. By the beginning of next year, I want to be doing something new. Like, as far as my business in a different direction. I don't know whether it's store frozen products in stores, start working on that, or really work on my catering side of my business. But I definitely want to be jumping into something else, because this year was like we were doing what we were doing last year. Not this time, because it was a little slower, but it's like it was a full year now of like, okay, we got all systems to go. So I'm ready now to take on new challenges, more or less. That's what it is. Take on new challenges.
Okay. Is that pertain to like expanding it into like your own um, uh, uh, vehicle? Like a truck, a food truck, or
Exactly. Yes. We bought a truck. We bought it. That's what I'm saying. We bought a truck in January, and we're supposed to try to get it converted. Now we're going on September, and we still haven't got it converted yet. We had processes, financial like loans and stuff. But what happened was the loan was just completely upside down, and it would have been bad to take it. So that was just about 3 months ago. So since then, I just been at peace with like, okay, we're just gonna grow it from where we're at. That took the clock off off me, because when I first got started, I just sold from home, and everybody's wondering, when are you gonna get a pop up? When are you gonna start doing breweries? When are you gonna start doing events? Then I started doing that. Then I went to festivals. Then I started going out of state. Then I started doing like like big festivals and out of state. And now it's like, okay, we've done all the circuit of the vending, which it's good, the pop-up vending, but I'm ready for the next level of branch of this business, whether it's merchandise, whether it's frozen products in stores, whether it's food truck. So that's kind of where I wanted these next 3 months, try to save and get in position to make a move on one of those three.
Okay. Keith, you got something?
Yeah, that's great, man. I've listened to you guys. That's a good conversation about, the business aspect and what it takes and all of that. And there's a little bit more I like to get into that, but I like to talk a little bit about just a couple of things you talked about. What level you think you're at between 1 and 5? If 5 was the bigger level of wherever you see that, where do you see yourself in that level? Are you just beginning to establish yourself first as somebody that the food is there, people like my food, at that level? Like where 5 is, I want a restaurant. I want to be in my name and lights, that people come in lines to come see me.
Honestly, I think I'm at 2. I'm doing a little better than the dude selling street corn, walking with the baby stroller up and down the street with the cooler. No, not like that, love, but no. I'm still selling out the trunk technically. No, we're just now getting our name established to where people are coming up to us saying they've had it at this spot or that spot, or hey, we had you guys over there in San Diego. Oh, weren't you guys at this? And that's kind of where it's at now. But yeah, I say level 2 because I'm no better than nobody else out here. I set my tent up, take my tent down, load it in my car, just like everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, these other guys out here, even to the level of tent guys, they have the branding of their truck. They got a trailer they got their truck hooked to, and their whole truck is painted with their name. So, it's like it's levels to it. I know we're not the worst, but we're not near where we can be. As
Well,
far
that's
as my
great, man, because that's great because at least you're progressing, right? As far as because just for shits and giggles, I used to have a restaurant a long time ago, but I would like to just kind of gradually talk about that because as you saying that you people know you now, they saw you at this spot or they saw you and they like the food and they're coming back to you if they see you somewhere else. What events do you try to, or what events are best for you? Like I know recently up here, they had the International Food Fest, that go around and look at different people and taste their foods and put their stuff out.
No, I haven't heard of that, but
So,
I know the food influencer guys. Like
right. So when you see your business, where do you look for those particular events? Do you try to? 'Cause I know some of them are costly, and everybody's got to pay the same price regardless of where they're at. Maybe if they got a truck or not. So talk a little bit about how you look for those business places to uplift your business.
Well, I'll start it off with my wife. Like a couple times we've been on the news, It's not because we were on the news, it's because the event was having an event that was newsworthy. So they asked us to be a part, come on, represent their event and, show some food cooking skills on the TV. So first of all, is new events that are on TV or newsworthy are events that you look for because that's going to draw the big crowds out. You got to learn, and like what a lot of vendors say, you don't know until you go. We've done ethnic-based events. We've done Filipino festivals. We've done mariachi festivals. We've done all kind of festivals. You just kind of learn the niche of your food of what you're selling. So our food is kind of general, like American food. It's soul food, but it's basically burgers, cheesesteaks, and French fries and stuff like that. So we can go to a lot of events because we do well. We've done events at a Taco Fest, flat out all Taco Fest, and we were selling our same menu, po' boy cheesesteaks, because after everybody's ate 1-2 tacos at 3 of these 20 tents, we're the only one with something different. So that's how I just kind of we hit all events. Prices of events can vary from $2,800 to as low as $100, and you just kind of want to see like how are they promoting it, how big is it going to be, and then you jump on it. And most of these events you got to sign up 5-6 months in advance for the real ones. The big ones. They're not doing late signups a month of. They're doing this stuff 5-6 months out.
Yeah, that's a big part of small business, man, is trying to establish the funds for those events. Because once like you said, that they're 6 months in advance, so now that money's gone, and you got to go you got to go hustle to get that back. So a little bit about the, like the TV thing. I want to talk a little bit about that because one time it came to my restaurant, we had the Unknown Eater. I don't know, you live in Oceanside. Back in the day, they used to have the Unknown Eater come to your place. How do you feel about like being in public? When you're in those, types of places where people, the TV, the cameras right there. Oh, show us how it's cooked. Show us how it's done. Do you shy away from that? Or are you the kind of guy, if you had a restaurant, would you be like nervous about going out there, watching everybody eat your food, or would you be in the back just like chilling and cooking? Because I was that guy that couldn't watch people eat my food.
Oh no, yeah, I like when I see people done with their plate. First thing I go, how was it? Let me know. Oh, it was good, or you know what I mean. Like I'm a people person. I can talk all day. Y'all probably can see that. I can talk all day. Like so, I can interact with people. What they say, you know how to work the room. You don't got to shake everybody's hand. You can wave to that guy over there. You can laugh with these guys for a second. So I would probably be back and forth. I'd be in the kitchen. I wouldn't be cooking, definitely. If I got a restaurant, I'm not cooking. I promise you, I'm not cooking. If I'm at a restaurant, I'm orchestrating, making sure everything's flowing from the front of the house to the back of the house. Yeah. So I love to interact with people. Like that's the main thing at our tent. We have a lot of friends and family, so we tell them we don't expect you to eat every time you see us. Just come by and say hi. That's all we. Just say what's up to us. And that's cool with us. We'll probably give you something free. Like we don't. You know what I mean? Like so. I like engaging with people. That's no issue.
That's also a good part of if people that's in tune with this type of restaurant business or pop up or stuff like that. When people are around your booth or people are talking to you, other people see that and what are they doing over there? Let me go see what's on their menu, and that just draws people to your restaurant. And family, if they're gonna come, try to create that excitement. Gives you a chance to smile and talk, and people want to see that. So, that's my experience in the restaurant business as far as doing that. What are some of the big events that you've done that you're proud of, and have you thought about in your catering aspect of the business? What are some of the big catering jobs? Like in my case, I had the prison for Christmas and Thanksgiving. Are you looking for those types of things, or what type of catering you've been able to do?
Celebrity cooking, celebrity chef, celebrity. That's where you get, because once that spreads around, and then this stuff is monkey see, monkey do, basically. You know what I mean? If you see 5 people talking about it, you're gonna want to see what's going on with it. So if I can get celebrities eating the food saying this is what it is, this is good, this is it, then it's a trickle down effect. Now the guy who wants to be like the celebrity is gonna call and book me too, because he's like, hey, this guy booked him, so I'm gonna book him too. I don't know if that answers your question though.
Well, it does, because in some businesses, like restaurant, you need that big, somebody that's gonna like that food, that's kind of that kind of knows that, hey, you know what, this is a celebrity, he came and ate my food. Just like I was seeing some of the pictures you and Razak was going on. This dude got, his whole face is splattered with all kinds of stuff on it. And that's not the image of him in whatever movie he played or whatever thing. That's the image you gave him from your food.
Yeah.
Right? Liking that. So I think that is something that you got to pull in where you can. So where do you get how do you reach out for those events or certain types of people you're meeting? I know it's the monkey see, monkey do, but what are you doing to get to those places?
To get the food into people's hands.
Get your food into stars. That's the
right events. You know what I mean? You got to be at the all access. You got to be at the right. You got to be at the events that these stars are going to be at. If my homeboy's throwing a barbecue and 25 people are going to be in the backyard, and those stars are going to be there. But if it's a music awards show and these stars got to walk in and out the same door that you're serving food at, they got to see you, so it's just like, keep your head on a swivel. You got to know who's who. Like that Chef Fest, I didn't know who a lot of those rappers were. You could just tell everybody got chains on, so he must be somebody. But, I ended up learning about a lot of them afterwards. But, it's just having your food out there and finding the right person to get in their hands, Even if you got to give it to them free, it doesn't matter. It's all promotion.
Yeah, that's a smart man there. When you got to give it away, let it go.
You gotta give it away.
It's gonna work out for you all the way around. So let me ask you a couple more questions. We'll kick it back over to Razak a little bit. In the restaurant business, can you talk a little bit about the entrepreneur spirit you have? What's that like? When you some days you don't sell nothing, like you were talking about earlier. You got to bring that food back home. What does that do for when the next time you go out? So how do you keep yourself motivated in the business? And then talk a little bit about how you stay mentally sound. You got kids, you got your wife, you got your family, and don't let the business kind of like put you in a corner where you don't want to talk to nobody. You stay motivated as an entrepreneur.
Basically, like we have like a system. Like say we're doing an event, an hour went by or something, we're not really selling. So first of all, we show people like to see the food. So we have pictures of our food. Then we cook everything and we put it out for display so you physically can see what it looks like, what you're literally getting. And then like if we're doing all that stuff and it's still slow, like we try different stuff. We start giving out samples. We start giving away free fries. We try all we can try until we realize like it's either not going to work or it's just not a good event or it's just not the people here for that or everybody just wants this food instead, But it doesn't you don't get down like because, you have good events, you have bad events, but you don't know till you go to them. And then from there, you make a decision. Was it too hot of a day or was it too much stuff going on or was it promoted right? So that kind of stuff keeps you motivated and like it keeps me always going because I never give up. Like we'll never be like just sit in our tent and not try anything, to get people to come check us out and see our food. And as far as family, like this is a real family ran business. My son runs the tent. My wife helps with all the cleaning at the house and the dishes and all that. And then we have a couple family friends. And we just we have you have disagreements in the business with the family, but we try to leave it once we get home. You know what I mean? Like once we get home, we can talk about it on the ride home, whatever this, that, the process of how we did things. But once we get home, we try to not bring it up because we're back family. I mean, we're family. We're workers at the business, but we're at home. We're not workers. We're family. So that's kind of like how we deal with that. But it's kind of tough because if the day already started off rough with you and your wife, and then you got to go now work an event, you can tell sometimes when I see it when I'm in the back, she in the front.
Yeah. Well, I know that.
Yeah, she not yelling the order. She just writing it on the ticket, leaving. I gotta go read each time. Nah, but for the most part, we get along up in there because it's family. We make it fun. Put some music on, and create a vibe. Like you said, draw the people. They want to know what's going on. They hear music playing, we laughing and cooking, and customers just walk away laughing at jokes, and it just draws people off our energy.
Right, I love that, man, because I remember when I had the restaurant, I wouldn't get home till 11 at night cooking, and my daughter sleep. By the time she wake up, I take her to school. I wouldn't see her because I'm at the restaurant. I'm always there cooking, chopping up onions, putting them in the thing, and all of that. One of the tricks that I was going to mention to, we used to just smoke, let meat burn. I mean, let the smoke take over the whole neighborhood. Put some barbecue sauce on it, put everything, just let it burn on the grill. We were smoking out the taco shop. That's how much stuff we were doing to try to create that. Hey, here, come on over here.
That's us with onions. All you gotta do is put some seasoning salt with some onions on the grill and slide it around like 12 times. People gonna walk by and go, that smells good. They're like, hey, man, I'm about to say that was some onions.
That's some funny stuff because that's the trick of the trade, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. In and out, you drive on that freeway, you smell them onions. Yeah. That's a little gem I'm gonna drop off for y'all. Throw some onions and seasoning salt on the grill, just slide them around. It look like you're busy. It look like you're working.
That's the crazy stuff, man. But it works every time.
Hey, you gotta figure it out. It's you there to work. You know what I mean? You gotta make those people want to buy your food. We've been at events where there's 150 food options. You know what I mean? Like, what makes you stand out? You gotta. It's tough.
Smoke coming, folks. They cooking a lot of meat over there. Got one piece of meat over there burning with our
burning, smoking that thing. That's the giveaway. Then you rip off the good parts and get samples.
Hey, that's the trick of the face. Hey, let me ask you this. I'm gonna pass it to Razak. Can you talk a little bit about just the, what you would say to those youth that are out there, those kids that are out there establishing their business, they're learning how to do certain things. Probably the kids that are learning from you, your family, and your, whoever's working with you, they're learning from. What do you say to those kids and staying motivated and seeing a brother working? They see your hard work, they see what you're doing, and the whole purpose of this podcast is we want people to see, Black men doing something and struggling out there, but also working hard. Can you talk a little bit about that?
My advice to kids would be to pick something and stick with it. I mean, it can lead you to other things, but your work ethic and what you pick is what's going to matter how you go about everything else. You know what I'm saying? If you are, I don't care if you want to play football or sports, if you are the first to practice and the last to leave, engaged in the coaching, learning, and really doing better, that's just going to translate something else better in life when you go on to do something else in your professional world, because your work ethic is what matters. It's like, if you're a hard worker, it's the stupidest cliche, but hard work pays off eventually in its level. It may not be to the top, but like I explained with my son, like he got a good GPA. He was there trying to play basketball. Basketball didn't work out, but it translated into still academic scholarship. So, it's just a work ethic that you have to set and stick by and don't quit.
I love that, brother, because that's coming from you and coming from, people that, we were younger. We probably wasn't hit with all of that right away. I was in the streets doing all kind of other stuff. So, I'm still trying to get mines now. So, I really appreciate that. And I'm going to pass you over back to Razak and let him get in on this.
Well, man, a lot going on. One of the things I frequently ask But you said that you had an American food, but it was soul food. And with that, with hearing that, how do you what's the best way? How do you incorporate cultural influences into your cooking?
So, yeah, soulful comfort meals. Like it's the word soulful in there, not soul food, more or less. Because we do greens and we do yams and we do all that stuff on one day a week. But when we're food vending, we don't really have all that stuff. So it's more or less the flavors of how we do it and the ethnicity of the foods. Like if you think about it, New York chopped cheese, that's not sold out nowhere but pretty much New York in the boroughs. So that's soulful. That's soulful dish. Philly cheesesteaks. Those that's an American sandwich basically, but with the seasons and flavorings of how we do it, we put a soulful twist on it. And same with the shrimp po' boy. That's a more New Orleans Southern dish. And, that's kind of like that. So our dishes of our choice of food is what it really makes it the soulfulness of it.
Okay.
So American, technically, if you want to say that's a burger, you know what I mean? It's a cheesesteak, but it's the way we flavor and the love and preparation of how we do it. Oh yeah, I mean tell y'all, we have an everything sauce. It's a sauce that we put on everything. That's the name of it because it goes on the bottom of the burger, it goes on the cheesesteak, it goes on the po' boy, and that sauce you see on the people's face and everybody stuff like that. That's where we get them at. That's our special blend sauce that we make, and we call it everything because we put it on everything.
Put it on everything
yeah.
sauce.
Yeah. I was gonna say, the symbol is it's like a basic format of how this all evolved. It wasn't like we sat there and drew anything up before we did it. All this came off of, drawing up plays in the dirt. That's how all this stuff, everything from the name, it just organically, it wasn't forced, it wasn't, marketed and schemed. It's just we're going with the flow of trying to grow.
Oh, I heard that. So going with the flow and just kind of like this, and so it takes also a business state of mind to even with the flow, you're still applying these different things. So and with that, could you tell us if you have a food related tradition or ritual that you go through in your personal life or with the business before you start, to get out there and do the business? Before you start getting out to selling, do you have a tradition or some kind of ritual that you have before you get out there?
Like for an event or just, I don't know what you mean.
Well, it's just like okay, like let's say before, it's basically asking like, okay, before you start cooking, do you go into a prayer? You get everybody together and then you go to the event?
No, because really it's family, so it's a lot of strategizing. I always like joking because I always relate everything back to sports. It's like you're the quarterback and you're the coach and your son's the quarterback. Y'all don't got to go out and practice because you're talking football riding in the car, sitting at dinner. So with our preparation, we kind of have employees. We know who want to work where. We figure out our game planning more or less before we even do the event. Down to we just a strategy of how we're about to do this. Like we have an event at 1, but my son has an event at 6. So I'll go with him. He'll come with me at 12 and set up. And then when I'm done at 9, I'll go over there and help him out. So it's kind of like we strategize the whole day and we kind of know what we're doing event wise, more or less. That's like our pre-game preparation.
Okay.
We literally don't pray before we work, but we pray before we work. You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? We don't huddle up and formally okay, y'all, let's. I wanted to do that kind of stuff, like the meeting, a huddle before we start, but it don't go that way because we're still setting up. Somebody wants to order, and we can make that. We get going, and it's just it's no a restaurant that say they open at 7. Okay, we're about to open the doors, you guys. No, it's not really structured like that to have that stuff in play. You know what I mean? We say let's have a good day every time we get out the car. So.
Right. Okay, so
The best thing you can do sometimes, just have a good day.
Just have a good day. Just try to have a good day.
Yeah.
So what would be okay, so given you're the, commander in chief of the business, and you've got this from somewhere. So what would be the best, or what was the best advice that you have got through growing your business that you are able to, that inspired you to be able to become a better business entrepreneur?
That's a great one. That's a great question. And I want to give credit to Tony and Dom, family friends. Selling at my house one day, they all came over to pick up food. On Wednesday, I sell food. I still worked at FedEx. And I was like too nervous to let go of FedEx because I finally got a job with benefits and, medical, dental, all this stuff. And so I was doing it, but it was kind of getting in the way of me not being able to really look for events and stuff like I really could, because I had to work on Saturdays still at FedEx. So I was only looking for events that started after me getting off and all that kind of stuff. And they told me, this is advice they said, it's going to be part-time until you treat it full-time. And not literally since then, I stuck with me for another month or two. And then I finally just quit my job and went full-time selling food, because I really wasn't giving it my 100% all I could, because I still was at FedEx. So literally that's what grew my business from 0 to 1 to 2, because it was like I made myself available 100%, bought into the business. So that's like literally like one of the best advice, because that takes me all the way. Like before somebody even advised me like, hey, you should sell food. I didn't really hear that. It was more or less that if you're going to pinpoint something for the business, it was that, because then that's when I quit my job to work full time doing food. So,
Man.
yeah, that's what it was. Part-time is going to be part-time until you make it full-time.
Yeah, you just answered the question. I was about to ask you that too, but let's go into a little more detail, because I want to get that. I want to get specifically in that moment that you had. Okay, so at what point, because that's what I always wonder. At what point did you start saying, I know you briefly just said it right now, but at what point did you start saying, I'm tired of working for these other people. I got this idea. I think it's going to work. And you just said, I'm going to quit. And you went off and actually did it, because that takes preparation to, start that business too.
Yes.
Is there a moment that you can say that was more specific than any other that said, okay, now I'm ready. Hey, see y'all later. I'm about to go do my own thing. Matter of fact, you guys come start eating your lunch break with me.
Yeah, it started getting in the way. Like, man, I worked at FedEx. I mean, I did so much stuff before I got out of there. Like, I took a personal leave for like 30 days. I got surgery. I went and got braces. So therefore, I had to be out of work for like 30 days. Then I used all my vacation. I used all my sick time. Used all my PTO, and I was just literally not coming into FedEx, because it was like, man, I'm busy now. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have this system structure set up like this where I could take all this personal time off and still keep my job. So I was doing it. And it was just like, it just got in the way of like, it just got in the way. It was like, I was working part-time at FedEx. So I'm working 3 hours for 4 to 5 days a week. And one of the days is Saturday. And it's like that, it was an inconvenience. You know what I mean? Like, I could be going to the store, getting my stuff ready for an event versus working here, then running, trying to, multitask and do too. So I built my business working at FedEx. Wednesday was my day off at FedEx. So I was confident in leaving FedEx because I had already been doing this for 6 months, I just quit last June, so it's been a year. So yeah, I worked at FedEx a good year and 4 months or something doing this, building this business up on Wednesdays. And then, a couple weekends, and Sundays and stuff. So I had the confidence to leave FedEx, but no, not sitting at home like, you know what? I'm gonna sell food. Let me go quit FedEx and start tomorrow. Nah, I built it to where I was able to make that shift. You know, like my the first event, my friend Brian sells big city hot dogs. He had an event in Temecula at the it's out there in Temecula. They got a big soccer field. I think it's Menifee, Marietta, one of them 3 cities. It's a big soccer field out there. They got like 30 soccer fields. He let me, he couldn't make it to an event, so he let me run it. That was the first time I ever made over $1,000 selling food. And that was when I was still working at FedEx. And that's when we knew, like, oh yeah, this is it. You know what I mean? Like this is the way to go. And I still worked at FedEx another 6 months, I think, still after that. But so that's when I knew, like, when it became the money wasn't adding up right. You know what I mean? Like, I could make $600 doing an event, but I'm working at FedEx for 3 hours to make $75.
Man,
you know? It's just like it was a no-brainer.
Right. Okay. That better details, somebody having a job and because I always wonder, when people say, hey, I got my own business that's making money, but you're still working for somebody else. And I know one feeds the other, but I'm thinking that's why I was asking certain kind of questions to see, at what point in time do we all decide to say, hey, I'm not going to work for somebody else. What I'm doing, it's financially stable. It's stabilizing me.
You got to work your hours. You work, you see it shifting. You know what I mean? Now you spending your work check to pay rent, or you use your work check to build your business. You still need your work check. You know what I mean? Because the business is not going to be able to hold your life and build the business. So once you feel those powers evening out or shifting, just jump over there. Just go all in, because now it's going to really boom it. But yeah, I don't advise nobody quitting their job, writing something down on paper. Bring your job a little bit, because that, like I said, we started a paint company. My friends were business owners. They run a pool company, and my other friend has a couple barbershops. And I was going out with them. We'd go out at night, still go to clubs and stuff, hang out. And it's like the conversation, I wasn't being involved anymore. They're talking about business. They're talking business stuff, employees and this and that, and credit card and business credit. And I was just sitting in the back seat, and I was like, I don't want to be left out. These are my friends, and I don't want it to be, all weird. We can't really talk no more. So I have it to this day. I'll send it to you guys to show you. I sent them a text like 2-3 years, over 3 years ago, because I wasn't doing food, explaining I'm proud of them, and I don't know what I'm gonna do in my life. My son's just going off to college, so I'm just now getting to figure out what I want to do. I've just been a sports dad, but I'm gonna get it cracking in the business world sooner or later. I sent a text to them 3.5 years ago. And then I evolved to where we're at today. So, it's like, you just don't want to, you just want to like grow and be evolved, so that's kind of how all that started with the business mindset, which led me to the paint connection. First, I did doing paint parties and stuff, but I wasn't really like letting my personality come out. I was dealing with older people, it was a slower vibe. It wasn't what I wanted to do. So we just switched over to food, made that decision and went to food. Right. Started the paint, I think, in like June, and then we were doing food by January. Yeah, January.
Right. Yeah, I like how you said that. That's important to know when to make the transition, and and what comes with the transition that you're making. Yeah. As far as the responsibility you mentioned earlier. So let me okay, so can you tell us about a food related cause that you have that you're passionate about, a charity that you are involved in, and how did you go about creating it or getting involved?
Maybe I would say I work with after school program called Star Program out of Lincoln by my good friend Mark Henry, and I've been working with him for years. And this was even before the food. He used to do he does still currently like talent shows, and what's funny enough is 4 years ago, before even doing food, he had a cooking show, and I used to film, like I said, I used to do film concerts and videos and events. And I would go every week to his school, and the kids would do a cooking show. Today we're making whatever they're making, tostadas or whatever, and I would film and edit the show for him. So we've still been working together, and now it's translated over to me bringing food to his program for his after school program for his kids. And I really like that. I work with the Oceanside Pop Warner. We do donations with them. I've had a friend that had cancer. He beat it. But at the time when he first got sick, we did a donation for him. We donated him like 75% of the profits. You know what I mean? I just cooked up a bunch of food. We had a bunch of people show up and sold it and handed them all the money right there like that. So not in none of the real big ones, American Heart Associations, any of that. It's more or less like I'm dealing with the community of people I can reach who are on the ground right here I can touch in my area. More or less.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good.
The kids. It's all about the kids, man. Kids of the future.
Yeah, and that's also creating a business that gives back to the community that you're a part of too.
Yes.
I mean that's also that's commendable right there. I had this thing. Okay, so I'm not too sure if you guys, if Keith asked you this before. I know you were saying something about it, but how do you go about approaching the creation of a dish? I know you say you only have like maybe like 4 different ones, but that balances both flavor and with the presentation.
How do we pick a dish that balances with the, like, as a healthy option, or just?
Well, it's like something you can have something that looks good but doesn't taste right. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, how do you? Because even when you was making your menu selection and you started making your seasoning it up and you're getting it down, how is you going about creating or blending the right flavors together? You know what I mean? With all the different sauces and stuff like that. How did you go about doing that? Because I know you say you had secret sauce and stuff too. How did you go about balancing that?
I don't know.
With
I think
the flavor?
it kind of all kind of organically came. The creation of the guy, like I said, the guy just put the cheeseburger on the cheesesteak. I'm the one I think that came up with add barbecue sauce to it and put a little drop of everything sauce. I think it's more or less like our presentation is what we're big on. When you get your plate of food, does it look the presentation of it? People eat with their eyes before they eat with their stomach, their mouth or whatever. So I don't know. That's a good question though, but I don't know. Like I don't know how it came about. It's just the way we've presented is kind of. Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. It's like, okay, ask me it again. I can answer. Ask me again.
No,
because when I'm interpreting, you're saying like, how do you come up with how you present your food? Like, how do you
like
put
you're
the sauce the way
okay.
You put on it?
Okay, so you said you had the little figurine things or the little the sticker things.
Yeah.
So you're presenting this thing as something like something good, it's delicious. You know what I mean? And it's like and then you have to match that with the flavor. So it's like, how did you go about saying like, okay, I'm gonna put this together. I'm gonna take a bite of it. Oh, that tastes good. So now I'm gonna present it to people as this is what you need to be buying and this is what you need to be eating.
Not just
Like how did you? Yeah, it's not just a hamburger where you just anybody's backyard party where they throw it together. You threw specific things in there. You threw the flavors in there. So how did you go about just
I think
creating
that was all just organically because I don't know. You can even ask my family. I don't know how we came up with barbecue sauce on the burger. Well, okay, I kind of get what you're saying. So basically, like our barbecue sauce is not a normal barbecue sauce. Our barbecue sauce is a special type sweet or tangy, not hickory type barbecue sauce. So I want that stands out when you taste that sauce or you taste our everything sauce. Those are two flavors you're not tasting on the norm. It's not like we're not throwing Sweet Baby Ray's on ours. You know what I mean? Like that's a thicker hickory. That's barbecue sauce. Like so, I wanted to let everybody taste those two sauces, which are good, no matter what they're on. You know what I mean? So we put those same two sauces on our chopped cheese. We put the everything sauce on everything. We put the barbecue sauce on like at least 4 items, 3 to 4 items. And so that's kind of where I came up with all that. Like everybody needs to taste both these sauces at the same time on majority of our food. We just don't put the barbecue sauce on the po' boys or the Philly cheesesteak, but the everything sauce goes on there. The barbecue sauce goes on the bacon burger, on the Philly fries, on the Wild West. So that's kind of what it is. Those two flavors I wanted to put on everything if I could, more or less.
Okay. Yeah, that says it. That says it right there.
Yeah.
That says it right there. I know I asked you about somebody giving you advice, but do you have some individuals that you would consider to be role models or mentors that influenced you and improve the value of your mindset?
Oh yeah, like vendor wise, it's about I got about four vendors, 4 to 5 vendors I look up to, call them big dogs because where they're at, they got multiple businesses, they got multiple buildings, and a couple of vendors out there. I'm trying to think. There's a couple of vendors out there that are my mentors. I ask for advice. They give me advice about businesses, festivals to go to, and things like that. Yeah, my boy Moss, he does a Dole Whip ice cream, famous pudding out there. EJ out there in Temecula, Marietta. He got I don't know if you heard of them, famous pudding. Big City Dogs, that's the guy. He's the local. He took me to the stores, and a couple other ones. But yeah, I respect people that are doing more to me because where I'm trying to get to. So anybody doing more to me is a mentor, whether they know it or not. Like they don't got to tell me nothing. I'm sitting back looking and watching, learning. Like I said, I'm a 2 out of 5 right now. So I'm looking at anybody 3 and up.
Yeah.
That's there. Like there's so many people that are like this, man. So much people that motivate me. Like Chef Buddha Blazing out there in San Diego, they motivate me. It's like I'm not afraid to go tell these people like, hey, you inspire me. You inspire me to do this.
That's great, man. You need that because the support is important for you to see other people that's out there. That's take a day off. Sometimes just go to some other events and look around, put your hat on, chill with your family, and look at some of the other things and learn from that. Because you're on your way when people taste your food. Because that's how I met you. Because my sister tastes your food. So so this is what's going. That's why I went to the back with my camera and whatnot. But go ahead, Razak. I stepped in.
Oh no, that's good. That's good. Because a lot of the people he just said we was trying to get the interview, or we had some kind of conversation with them, and they were trying to still get them on there. I know Big City Dogs and the Blasian guy. Those two I remember. Are what you call it wasn't matching our schedules.
Yeah, they did.
So we still got to try to get them back too. So what I was going to ask was, do you have a bucket list of items, or not necessarily items, but of goals or places you want to visit that you have in mind? And this doesn't mean that you're dying off or nothing. It's just the places you want to do with things. yeah, like things that you want to do. I mean, things that the business is funding or gives you an opportunity to do.
I'd like to go to Italy. I'd like to go to Italy for a couple of weeks and really see like the culinary side over there. Although that really has nothing to do with like the type of food we make, but just the culinary practices of what they do. I'd like to go out there to Italy. I'd like to really go to New Orleans and stay like a good month in New Orleans. You know what I mean? Like really go down there and really touch the people and really see the food, and that will come back and make me 10 times better. I know it will. So that's like a short-term goal, not that long, but, be able to go down there for a good week or two and make connections with some cooks and stuff down there just to see because that's kind of where we're at with our food, the Southern Creole, so that's like the home of it right down there, and my business overall goals is, man, if I got 2 food trucks running, if I got 2 food trucks up and running and 2 tents up and running, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Okay.
I'm not rushing none of that though, but yeah, that's a goal, a long-term goal.
Okay. I think Keith, you know about New Orleans down there, don't you?
I was going to tell you, man, that's where I'm from. My mother just came from New Orleans. She's here today. And, when I had my restaurant, my sister taught me a little bit about how to make my gumbo, how to make my roux, how to deal with all of that, and my jambalaya, my black and catfish, and all of those types of things. And and I'm the designated cook here because of that experience, so I try to bring it to everything I'm doing here. And my arm has got all kinds of burns down there because I think I could just put my arm in the oven and grab stuff and always get I got martial.
You gonna burn till you learn.
You burn till you learn, but a cook is supposed to get burned. If you
we got the grease popping. That grease pop on the French fries. You throw them cold fries and that pop all up in your arm. Yeah, you learn the second time.
I wake you up, make you feel good, like burn me again.
Or draining the grease out of the fryers, Drain that grease. Sometimes you got that grease gonna hit you.
Pop on you.
Oh yeah,
that grease gonna hop on your hand.
It's gonna make you realize who's the boss, But going to Louisiana or going down there, man, would be, I think, if you're, not that you're trying to put the southern all the way, because you do have the mix because you're Californian, you got that part. But I think down there, it's just a matter of those seasonings that you're talking about that gives you that extra flavor that can carry a little bit of that southernness, and you could twist off of it. And I think that is something that's exciting, man. To do.
That's what I'm talking about.
My brother, he's down there. He's catching coon and put him in a smoker, and he's smoking them with a barrel. They're smoking fish. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff down there. But that is, and I'm way down in the south, way down in the country. Sugar canes all around it. So you go to the gas station, they got boudin, they got fried fish at the gas station.
Gas station got better food than KFC. You gonna get you a snack 2-piece right there out of there with a biscuit aside.
Right. Popeyes, not Popeyes. Yeah. Is it Popeyes? Popeyes is better down there than
Popeyes,
here.
Louisiana chicken.
I bet they take it serious.
They making it. You go one here and they got it, but you go down there, man, it tastes good. Especially the dirty rice. Oh my God, man! Dirty rice is my favorite, man. So I don't know.
They get you a big foot long po' boy, $12.
Oh man, yeah.
$9.
Go with this Mardi Gras.
Man.
Go with Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I went. I've been down there for Fat Tuesday. Yep. We went off Claiborne Bridge and all that down there.
Oh yeah, oh man.
Yeah. We were down there. We went to Cafe du Monde. But but we went during Mardi Gras. I need to go when it's regular city. You know what I'm saying? When it's really the people. You know what I mean? Like Mardi Gras, like Arkansas, everybody down there, New York, Miami. So
trying to hold on to your wife down there during that time, man. I lost my wife walking down there on Mardi Gras. She just, I let some people pass me, and I let her hand go. And my wife was shorter than me, man. When I looked over, I couldn't find her, man. It was thousands of people. I couldn't find her. I kept walking, and she stayed, man. And when I found her, oh, man, you left me. I couldn't find her. I was like, oh, I'm never going to leave you again. Hold on, baby.
There's a lot of people.
Hold on.
It takes 2 hours to walk down Bourbon Street because you're talking every 5 steps.
Yeah.
Every 5 steps you laugh and talk to somebody else. That's a good party out there. The whole city party. I try to tell them here it's like our 4th of July, where you see flags out everywhere. Like everybody, every house has a barbecue. Everybody letting anybody. They got the U-Hauls down there. They be renting the U-Hauls, lift them up, and they be hanging out in the U-Hauls down there.
Between that and the firecrackers, you pop some firecrackers and all that stuff. Let me this goes right into my question a little bit. Talk a bit about your legacy, man. What are you trying to leave? What are you trying to, what do you think is something that you can leave not only to your kids, or what do you want them to take from you or pull from you as your legacy through your business or through your just your regular life?
Want to be known for our customer service more than our food. The food is what you get with the experience. You're coming for the experience. So I would like to leave the legacy of this business always being known to you hear like the older businesses, like the movies or something like, hey man, your dad used to work here. He used to run the store and he was so nice. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to leave behind. And I want them to carry on with this business. If this is what they choose to continue to do, just the legacy of treating people right, money or not, we'll feed you, just experience. The whole experience is what I want to leave as a legacy of when you come to this business, when you come to eat at this establishment. It's more than just order and go. You got to laugh out of it. You learn something. You maybe have met somebody in our business. You met a customer or something like that's what I would like to leave behind that would continue this business, and we'll probably keep it running for a long time based off that.
Yeah, I think that's important, man. I think as you work hard, you're leaving some steps behind. You're leaving some crumbs behind for people to pick up in your life and stuff like that. So that is important. Do you have a life lesson that you think is something that overall, I know you got people that helping you in the business that help you learn from them, but you coming up. In my case, I didn't have my father, so there's a lot of things that I took from that to try to make sure I succeed because I wanted to, let him know I didn't need him to do that, So, so I'm wondering, like, how what things have you pulled from your life that, what, this is my lesson that I can share and pass on to the youth as well as to other business owners if necessary?
I guess a lesson to pass on would be to stay consistent. Consistent is key. Another, same old cliche type saying. It's consistent is key in what you do. It like days I don't want to cook are the days that somebody who's never been to my business called that day. Might have been a slow day, but that one customer, I was consistent to have the food. Out of 2 years of me selling food, today was the day they wanted to decide to sell, and I was consistent with being available for that food for them. I don't know if that answers your question.
Life lesson is pretty hard sometimes. We all have to realize, sometimes it's a burn, and sometimes it's easy. But the ones that are burned is the ones that, somebody smacked us across the head and say, boy, you're going to do this way, or this is your life lesson. And our grandparents and people that are in our lives has usually been a part of, instilling those life lessons. Have you, your grandparents or family in that way, were you around them for cooking? Were there some things that you learned from them as far as your lessons in that way?
Yeah. Oh, well, my grandfather, he would cook. He would cook bacon and stuff. I learned. My sister, she really got the lessons from my grandmother, and she also has her own business. It's called Golene's Vegan Kitchen, and that's based off of a bunch. She does the vegan dishes of the dishes my grandma used to make. So like my grandparents they were already older. They were 80s and 70s when I was just 10 and 12, young. But I guess it's just my life lessons. I don't know. It's just off my own base experiences, my own bumping my own head and learning. I can't do that. I made a lot of mistakes in my life too. So I think it's basically learning from my mistakes that I've made, smart enough to realize I need to change them, is really kind of like majority of like advice and what's guided me.
Okay. Yeah, learn from your mistakes.
Learn from your mistakes because some people just think they are so big that they don't make mistakes. The mistakes that they do make, they think it's somebody else's problem that the mistake happened. It wasn't part of what they did. So you got to be man enough and strong enough to know when you make a mistake and how to even apologize or whatever is necessary to move forward. So let me ask you, as you had your business now, man, for these few years, and you've left that job and everything, and how do you see yourself in 5 years? What are some of the things that are? I know you say you're one or two, you're two right now, and I know you want to get to a certain place, but how do you see yourself? Not necessarily the business. Are you stronger now, or you still got things that going to help you? Maybe you think you still need to learn more. How do you deal with you now? Now that you got the business and everybody's looking at you to succeed, how are you dealing with you?
I'm happy. I'm happy because, like I said, in the end, if this business doesn't grow and this is all it says, I do pop-ups and local events. I've established a way out for myself from the other life I had to live, which is not, I'm not nothing crazy. Just saying, working for other people, and I am happy where I'm at today, and in 5 years, personally, just continue to grow as a person. You know what I mean? And the person will spill over to the business. My business isn't creating who I am. My personality is creating what my business is, more or less was what it is. So 5 years from now, as long as I stay positive and always stay humble and continue to work hard, like I said, the same stupid cliches, I think, quality of life should be okay. I should be able to, I don't fumble the bag, like they say. Just stay smart, stay humble. And in 5 years, if I keep doing what we're doing right now today, in 5 years, we'll be way better, even if I don't do nothing more than what I'm doing. And I'm happy with that. Like I said, I'm happy that I've created something for myself out of my brain. Like, all this is out of my brain. This wasn't drawn up and executed. It was each day we learned and we added to it, and we learned and we added to it.
Well, man, that's kind of like the big part of being a business owner is understanding what you can do, what's in your wheelhouse, what are some of the things that you're able to how you can move your business forward, and then staying positive, staying positive on the things that you're doing, not letting people bring you down when you're in as you go through this process. And one of the questions I have for that is, we got friends, we got family, we got people in our lives, and not everybody ride on this shit. Mm-hmm. Have you ran across people in your life that you say, you know what, I got to stay away from you because, you're not helping me mentally, and every time I try to do something, you complain, whatever it is, you're not riding on this ship. Have you had to do some friends and keep away from certain people? How you manage that?
Oh yeah, that is hard. That is hard because you don't really see it coming. It just adds up over time. Like, man, you got something to say every time. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you don't recognize it right away, and what you do is you feel like you're the blame for why the relationship is what it is. You know, so you find yourself more or less watering yourself down to make that person feel better, but that's not helping me grow. So you're gonna lose a few. You're gonna lose a few, and it surprises you to who the people it is, because you know your best customer is a stranger. You know, like, you know, friends and family, they'll help you get you started, but they got their own lives and their own dreams and aspirations too, what they want to do. So they don't, you know, they're gonna support you, but you know, in the end, it's gonna be you and your crew of team who you build. You know, even the immediate family, like, you know, not everybody's on board with that's what they want to do with their life. You know, so it happens and it sucks, but what are you gonna do? I'm trying to go up.
Yeah. You know,
That's a great answer, man. That's a great answer.
You're gonna lose a few. You're definitely gonna lose a few. And it just the hardest thing about it is the surprise is who it is. Like, damn, I knew them, but not you. You know what I mean? And it could be close as your mother. It could be as far as, you know, close as, you know, as far as a stranger, your neighbor. All of a sudden, now he's calling on you at the police every day because you got traffic coming to your house and you're selling food. You know, so it's like it just surprises you who it is, but don't be surprised about it.
Yeah, I think you lay right into what me and Razak know to be one of the things that, you know, of all the people we talk to, we hear this, and it's another part of that, because that's why I ask it, because you know you got to be strong enough even in your own self to know, you know what, I gotta let you go, man. I gotta let you go. I mean, we can hang out, do this or whatever it's gonna be, but you know, I'm not bringing you too close to me. I got to build this barrier up, because if I let you in, you're gonna distract me, or you're gonna take time from me, or whatever it is that gonna, you know. And this is my family. This is my livelihood. This is what, um, you know, I'm trying to do to be successful.
Yeah.
So you know, when you run across that, you know. Man, you know, it's such a hard thing to do. Tell me a little bit about your business, something that we haven't talked about. Talk a little bit about some of the things that you would like to get out regarding your business.
We cooking. We just we want everybody to try our food. You know, I've traveled to Arizona. We got Seattle scheduled next year. I've been to Sacramento. I've been to LA. I've been to Phoenix. And we just want everybody to try it. Because once you tried it once, you know, then you'll know what we have. And when you see it on Facebook or Instagram, you know, you know, it's like you went to an NBA game, to a Laker game, you know, and now you're back at home, but you've been to a Laker game, and so you know what people are experiencing every time you watch that Laker game. Like, oh man, it's probably be crazy to be there with LeBron doing all that, you know. So that's like more or less what I want to get out there about my business, is everybody to try it at least once. That way, if you like it, when you see me again anywhere else, or you see us on Instagram, whatever, you know what that feeling felt like in that experience. And, you know, I mean, that's more or less like what I want for the business. Like I said, I don't know. I hope that answered the question.
You're answering the question. You're answering the question.
Okay, I don't know. I say it, I'm trying to answer the question, but I spill into like an example. So I get that from my mom. My mom always brings up examples.
Context is good when you're talking about your business, because you want to give the best to the people that are out there, and you know you don't want to have to be holding nothing back. Whatever comes out to help you to explain that and make sure that, you know, the person on the other end can get the right information. That's important, because you're the only person that's speaking for the business, and since that's you, you know, speak how you need to speak to get it out there, you know, and be there. So let me ask you this, and then maybe I'll pass it to Razak for a couple more. Have you been on podcast before? Can you tell us a little bit about your experience on this podcast so far, so we can, and then maybe you can let us know a little bit about, you know, if you understand why we're doing this. It's to uplift entrepreneurs. Can you talk a little bit about that, the importance of that in our community?
Yeah, I've been on a couple of podcasts, and usually like they want to get your background and tell your story, but you guys are I like you because you're more personal with me telling my experiences versus my story. Like what led you to doing this, the why of the situation versus the how. So I like what you guys are doing because I've been able to explain more of the question in detail versus cut and dry. People are like not knocking nobody. It's just more or less like they just have a question. You answer the question, they give you another question. Like you guys create a platform where I have time to elaborate, and the podcast is usually only 15, 20, 30 minutes anyway, so they're just awesome boom bam bam beam, But today was very good because we got to thoroughly go through a lot. I don't know how much people learned about me, but my goals and you know what I'm trying to achieve is what you guys got out of me today. Definitely.
I appreciate that, brother, because the whole thing and the purpose, and Razaka mentioned a little bit too after I get done about why we're doing this, and you mentioned that it's to be able to tell that story, because even if the news is there recording you for 15 to 20 minutes and asking you that question, people buy your food and they go off and they're eating. They really don't know too much about you. They know about the food, but do they know about the person? And when the next time I see that, oh man, he's cool. I already know, man. He put a lot of love in his food. He really think about everybody when he's cooking his food. He has a little bit of appreciation for me buying his food. All of those things are important to making sure that people are able to see you, and then other people that are out there are able to see you. So I want you to also to take a moment right now before I pass it over to Rizal. What I want to get you to do is give a shout out for your business, give your email, your phone number, your Instagram, all that.
Okay. Rodney with We Cooking out of Oceanside, California, based out of Vista. My email is order@wecookn.com. My Instagram is at we.cookn.com. No IG on IG. And Facebook, We Cooking. Instagram at INDA Streets 2 at Industries 2. And phone numbers on Google under We Cooking. We do catering. We do party. No party, big or small. Just let us know. We're available.
All right.
Well, brother, one of the things that I want to tell you, and Razak and I, man, we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, proud of you as a brother out there doing what you're doing, helping, create jobs or, spreading the money, spreading the wealth around our community, and I'm just really proud to see you out there, man, doing what you're doing. And
I want to thank y'all for having me. Like I said, you reach out to me, even when people like invite me to events, I try to if you're reaching out to me, I'm going to try 95% my best to make sure it happens, so you guys reach out to me. We set a date. I appreciate it. I thank y'all. You guys are doing a good thing. I'm going to share this to my page, get you some exposure. And hopefully one day y'all can come do a live filming at one of our pop-ups. We'll set you up in the back, and you can interview people with the food and interview other vendors, and, we can get you out there like that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. That'd be much appreciated.
That's great, man. Anybody else?